Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we are playing with the Paislees and Petals collection from Fancy Pants Designs. I am a member of their design team, so I have the privilege to play with it so that you can see the product in action in case you are curious to purchase. I did do an unboxing video here on my channel. I will leave it linked down below for you. And if you use my code MOMENTS10, you do get a discount when you shop at fancypantsdesign.com. If that's of interest to you. Last kit last month was Enchanted Garden, and this month is the Paisley Petals. To kick off this month, my first project is going to be a tag mini album. And once again, I don't know what pictures I'm going to use, or if I might just leave it like blank spots, like to indicate where a picture would go. But I recently purchased this die. I have always wanted it. It comes with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 sized dies of tags, which I think is fantastic. And this outer one is pretty gosh darn big. It truly is like 4.5, a little bit bigger than 4.5. By a little shy of 8 inches. So that's a big tag. So let's get into this collection. You already saw the unboxing, and with 9 tags, I feel like, because remember the collection comes with 6 designs but 2 pieces each, so I definitely have 9 different pattern papers to use. And you know, the glorious part, I feel like when I'm going to make this mini album, kind of like the last time, it's to, when I did the mini album so last month I also did a mini album, if you recall, and I made this little accordion album with the Enchanted Gardens, which I love, which was my first attempt at a mini album. So this is what I'm trying to also do with this, is to do a mini album so that I can show off a lot of the beautiful product, and that way leave the indication where a photo could lend itself or be. That way you can also envision some great things to do with your collections. With being on the design team, I think that is always, I guess for me, the goal is to show off as much of the beautiful collection that you possibly can on a layout. That way you have ideas on what to use it for, you know. So I'm just kind of thumbing through them because I feel like since they get layered on here, you know, a little bit is going to peek out from each one. And so like already I kind of feel like I would do this order because those two next to each other were busy on busy, and this one's a little bit more solid. So that could be the order. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a nice classic, a little rest 6. Ugh, I love this one so much. I'm pulling these two because I just don't want to cut. My next layout is going to be something pinky with those. Yeah. And then that dark green looks good. This busy one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And these are the last two. Either that or that. I think I kind of like this one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. Those are the 9 papers we are going to make this tag album with. So I'm going to take you along for this journey. This is kind of how it's going to be layered, and we'll embellish the pages together, and I'm going to bring you along for the entire process. But this is how I'm kind of seeing them layered will go, like that way. It looks pretty good. So, you know, busy, solid, busy, sort of solid, busy, solid, you know, solid too, but this one says to have a thing, busy, and then a little bit more of a solid thing too. And if anything, I kind of feel like maybe, see, this is why I like working with you. We'll do this, then the busy, and then rest it on a solid. Yeah. I'm liking that. So I think, yeah, the biggest, I'll start off with the solid green next, so on and so forth. And then we'll have this one be the little mini guy. But maybe while I have you, I'll make I just love this one. Make that one the middle little guy? No, because you know why too? With the little guy, at least it's the littlest, and this is definitely very busy, so having a little compartment of this won't matter. And then we'll do all the embellishments on each tag. All right, that is the order. Let's get started. Okay, so let me get started making all the tags. I will show you how I do the first few big ones, and then obviously the process just repeats itself. So for the first big one though, it was actually a little bit bigger than my plates itself, so I had to kind of run it through like one way and then kind of take it out and adjust it a little bit so that the back end or the lower end got the pressure on it in order to cut it out completely. But in the end it worked out. It's just the problem of having a smaller cutting machine versus anything bigger, because the votes were in from that video. I asked, like, should I get a new manual die cutting machine or maybe like the cinch, etc., etc., and everyone voted that I should get the cinch machine. So definitely I'll be adding that to either Christmas list or, let's be honest, like a Black Friday kind of moment, so that I can have the cinch and make these little mini albums, because I've taken a class now for mini albums, and I guess I was just intimidated in the past about doing them, but they are so fun. This is only like my second. This is like a tag mini album. I did the accordion one last month, and I think I want to do one, either a mini album that will just be bound on discs, so to use discs, or to do it via what was the other one? Oh, the secret hinges is that also one I've been looking at. So it's just a great way, and I just find these projects good, especially being on some design teams, because you get to show off a lot of the product in the kit, and that helps obviously the brand that I work with to have projects showing off a lot of the elements. So once I have the tags, I do have them right now on a 1-inch binder ring, and I just have cut out white paper, like copy paper, it's really thin, to indicate where a photo would go. And I ranged it from being like a 2x2 square to a 2x3 photo that could be printed on a collage. I think I also did like a 3x3 square, and then like the largest tag does have an indication for a 4x6 photo. So there definitely can have an array of photos that fit on these sizes. So definitely going to be doing this again because it was so fun. And once again, to decorate all the tags was also, I guess, just enjoyable for me. Usually, when you have a collection, you want to almost have it last as long as possible. But like I said, since I am on the design team, I feel like I have opened the doors to play with everything freely, because like I said, it's best to show off as much of the collection as possible when you're asked to do a certain amount of projects for them. So with this pink paper, I was just auditioning like two florals that will look good. This is the smallest tag that I did. There was one smaller than that one, but I decided against it because it was just way too small to really include anything other than maybe a die cut, because even for the words, none of them would have fit on it. So I just kind of vetoed the last one. So in the end, it's an 8 tag size mini album. For this one, I did take the sticker of a bunting flag and then a floral and one of the other stickers that has some text on it. That would be one thing I think this collection was a little light on, was anything like tiny word phrases or text and words. A lot of it was just a lot of decorative elements, which is obviously fine. But when I'm looking for, like a tiny word sticker that says like, great day or something, like I was like, oh, there's nothing on this sheet. They're all like tags. Where can I find words? Where are some words? But it just made it more of, like I said, a decorative kind of mini album, which is fine as well too. Like I said, there's a place for all of these elements in our craftiness. So even for this one right now, I don't have any photos in it because, again, I think we're just getting into fall, and I'm pretty much stay current in my scrapbooking. So to go back and scrap like older, maybe pumpkin patch photos or fall activities, I know I already have done it, so since they really haven't started for us here yet, I know that I can come back and add the photos to this one, because for me too, this has a definite fall colored vibes, and this one is like one of my favorites. I really love the colors. All the corals, the grays, and like the hunter green really work well for this collection. And like I said, I indicated on each tag where a photo suggestion could go. And I made sure to always put the tape for it in a very minimal way, that if I had a photo like for this one, that I can tuck it still behind there in hopefully like the negative space of the photo, and it could slip underneath there, underneath the die cuts that I have. So for this one too, I thought the edges of being 2 layers of rectangles on top of each other. So I just kind of cut off the corners to make it look like a tag. And that way the photo that you put on there can be backed by the hunter green, and then that pattern paper as a repeat, which was mostly white anyway, worked out fantastic. So yeah, like I carry on doing this all. And like I said, this one is the Paislees and Petals collection. I will leave it linked down below. Last month I worked with Enchanted Garden, and I do believe, I think I'll work 1 and 1 again for the month of November, because then for December their collection is called, oh, I'm losing it. Is it Mix and Mingle? No. Oh my goodness, I'm forgetting the collection name. But it is a fun collection. It's red and green, but then it has the hints of the mint green as well as pink. So if you like pink in your collections, actually maybe I should just play with it in November, to be honest. That way you can see the projects in the collection, and if you want to get your hands on it before Christmas, you can have it. Yeah, I might do that. I might play with the Christmas collection then next month, so that you can have page ideas already for December daily, or any of your December documenting that is coming up, which is an exciting time. So here I am adding some fun foam behind that one title piece that says you and me, and I added like about 3 tags on that one as layering pieces, which worked out perfectly because I made sure to have like a dark pattern, a lighter pattern, and then a busy pattern on top of that. That's kind of always my rule of thumb, because if you have 2 busy patterns together, it's very hard to see where one begins and where one ends. So for instance, this one too, I know it was very busy, and I think I do add quite a big cluster at the bottom of it. Yes, I do, because it was just too busy, and I think I wanted to make sure I put something on each label, that everything else seemed to be not enough to contrast. So these were definitely a little bit more on the solid side, and that worked out perfectly. Off camera, I will take the time. You'll see it when I finally do my outro in the flip through, but I do take the time to add in sequences, probably from Spiegelmom scrap, that colorway that would go well with it, with these corals and greens and blushy pinks. And then I also take the time to do gold paint splatter. And if you do gold paint splatter, you know that it takes a little time to dry. So that is also done off camera so that they can dry, and I can add the enamel dots, were the last thing I added. And then of course I also go in and add ribbon to the binder ring at the top from a trim bundle that I've had from Michael's. So when you see the outro, I think I make mention of the trim on the rings, and that I added the enamel dots, glued on some sequins, and also did gold paint splatter. But all those things, like I said, go in kind of waves, because they have to dry in between it, and then finish decorating all of the bits. So I hope you found this inspiring, and to give a mini tag album a try. It is definitely a fun way to have a variety of photo sizes, a variety of papers used, and show off a lot of the embellishments in the collection, because that's exactly what I did for this version. Okay, so I have finished up this tag mini album. It turned out oh so cute. All of the texture on the sides, and I added all of these little fun trim ribbons from the fall bundle from Michael's. There are a bunch of trims. I have it here on my desk. It looks like this, full of trim. So let's show everything in detail. So I wonder though, maybe I should undo it. That way I can just bring it up and not have everything so distracting. Okay, so we have the first tag with some of the florals. I went back in and added the enamel dots and some sequins, so that says BU. This one that has just a bunch of layers of the stickers. This one stayed kind of on the flatter side compared to others. This one, I left a marcation for where a photo could go, so that way the vellum holds that spot for the photo, and then the flower and the leaf and some of the sequences. This one as well stayed a little bit flat, but I have a cluster of like 3 stickers in the bottom with the embellishments, and then one of the die cuts up top too. This one has one of the foam thickers that says love, one of the little mandala flowers, a little bit of the die cuts, some gold splatter, and then the enamel dots are on that one. This one I popped up the label sticker and then have 3 label die cuts or so layered there. And then once again, a place for the photos when I add them. This one that says fun, and then the layered tags as well. And this one already has location, date, and activity. And then I cut that sticker for the top and the bottom and a place for a photo. And then lastly, we have this one. I love that big bold floral. It says yay, place for a photo. And for this one, I did attempt the sewing. I didn't think it added anything to it, so I didn't add it to all of the cards. So that is all of them. It's super cute. I am definitely enjoying making these little mini albums featuring these collections. And that will be it. So the collection was Paislees and Petals, or Petals and Paislees. I will leave a link down below. Remember to use Moments10 for a discount when you purchase off of fancypants.com. And yeah, thank you so much for joining me. Bye, everyone.